joined by CrossFit athlete Jason Smith. Thanks for joining us today, Jason.
Thank you.
Jason, when did you really begin to pursue CrossFit competitively and with what end goal in mind?
I originally started in 2008. It wasn't really, at the time that I started, it wasn't to compete. But I mean, as I got into it, I think maybe 6 months to 12 months later, decided to compete. It was the first regionals that was in South Africa. And from the beginning, or from that time, or 2009 I think it was, it kind of was in my blood to compete. So after that it was just working on competing, competitions.
Yes.
So yeah, it kind of grew from there.
And I mean, you've done CrossFit for many years, so what is the appeal of CrossFit that keeps you going?
With CrossFit, I think every month, every competition is always a new challenge, which is exciting. It's not something that's always exactly the same. It's not always the same movements, always the same times. There's always something that's challenging you, which I enjoy. I love it. It's very different from your normal gym routine. So the challenge always keeps me driven, which is nice. And then competing obviously against different athletes all the time. Also, you know, as the excitement.
Yes. And we've seen you win local competitions, like this year you won fittest in Cape Town, but recently we've seen you take a lot of international titles, like the Aphrodite Games or the Amsterdam Throwdown.
Yeah.
So what has been the greatest contributing factor to your international success?
As I said, I've been competing since 2009, locally, South Africa. So, you know, I've done pretty much all the competitions here in South Africa. I think I've done pretty well in all the comps. So what I'm trying to do is try and broaden my athleticism against international athletes. You know, we've obviously got the regionals once a year, which is in Europe and against the top athletes in Europe. So I'm trying to move over to Europe to try and compete against different athletes. You know, being overseas a lot of the time, we are kind of being exposed to what the guys or how they're training over there. So I think it also adds a good dynamic and a good positive feed for my training as well. Yeah.
So you've come extremely close to being one of South Africa's few competitors to actually qualify for the Games. What has been the greatest challenge that's held you back until now, and how do you plan to overcome that challenge?
It's with the CrossFit Games, I mean, it's your pinnacle of CrossFit. It's your biggest competition, your highest competitive, all the best athletes in the world compete. So every year it is getting tougher. There's new athletes coming in. The guys that have been there are always getting stronger, better, faster. It's something that I am working towards. You know, I'm trying to get better every year as well. CrossFit isn't a quick fix. You don't just join CrossFit 12 months later and then you're the best in the world. It's as I see it, it's a time thing. The longer you do CrossFit, the more you learn, and the better you become. That's kind of what I'm trying to achieve now by competing overseas and in Europe especially, because that's my region, which is the Meridian region. Africa against Europe. I'm trying to compete more there to gain more experience against the experienced athletes and the tougher athletes. So I think my dynamic has changed from not competing locally but more internationally to gain exposure and obviously to increase my level of competition. So that's hopefully in the next coming years it improves.
Yes. So from this international experience, do you think South Africa is moving to the stage where elite CrossFit athletes can actually gain a viable income from CrossFit, considering especially the cost to travel overseas?
I don't think now, because it's still a growing sport in South Africa. I think the more time or the more exposure the sport gets to the bigger corporate companies and stuff, the more sponsorship will be put into the sport. I think then yes, currently not at the moment, but you know, the sport's growing, so the more it grows, the more people want to chuck money into it. I think in that aspect it definitely can, but probably not at the moment. You know, to have a sustainable lifestyle, you know, I don't think it pays its way yet.
Yes. If you had known 5 years ago what you know now, if anything, what would you do differently in terms of training and nutrition?
5 years ago, I'd probably be doing the exact same thing. I think I've kind of done what I did 5 years ago, is just eat, sleep, train. Over the years, you gain experience, you get better at this, better at that, build up your strength. it's just something that takes time. It's not something you just automatically are the best. You know, some people are like that, but very few and far between.
Yeah.
So over the last 5 years, it's just been a growing in the sport and growing myself and just bettering myself all the time. So it's just, yeah.
There must be something that you do, some kind of dedication that separates you, obviously, from the rest of the CrossFit athletes in South Africa. So if you could maybe take us through your daily routine.
All right, well, to start off, I don't train all day. It's not a morning, noon and night thing. I still work. I run a company with my father and my brother during the day, aside from the CrossFit box. I own the box with my wife and my brother. So then I'm running in the morning and the evenings. Still work during the day. So to get my training in, I start off, I wake up 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm here from 3:30, train till 5. I take the classes from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, get back home, obviously help the wife and the kids get ready for school and whatnot. Then I'm off to work at about 8:30. Work from 8:30 to about 3 in the afternoon. I'm back here to train from 3 to 4:30, get another training session in the afternoon, and then obviously take classes from 4:30 probably to about 7, then back home to help out with the kids and the wife again.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Jason, for sharing some of your story with us.
Thank you very much.